Hey youth, so good to see you again. Sorry we're not meeting up tonight, but as promised to you last week, here is Daniel chapter 1. Remember, we want to hear your questions that you have from it. Literally anything. You might ask us a question about who's this person? Why is Nebuchadnezzar king? Why has he got such a long name? Anything at all. We just want to hear your questions for a special service that we're doing in a couple of weeks' time. So, without any more fluff or further ado, here is Daniel chapter 1. It was the third year of King Jehoiakim's reign in Judah when King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon declared war on Jerusalem and besieged the city. The master handed King Jehoiakim of Judah over to him, along with some of the furnishings from the temple of God. Nebuchadnezzar took the king and furnishings to the country of Babylon, the ancient Shinar. He put the furnishings in the sacred treasury.
The king told Ashpenaz, head of the palace staff, to get some Israelites from the royal family and nobility, young men who are healthy and handsome, intelligent and well-educated, good prospects for leadership positions in the government, perfect specimens, and indoctrinate them in the Babylonian language and the law of magic and fortune-telling. The king then ordered that they be served from the same menu as the royal table, the best food, the finest wine. After 3 years of training, they would be given positions in the king's court.
4 young men from Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, were among those selected. The head of the palace staff gave them Babylonian names. Daniel was named Belteshazzar, Hananiah was named Shadrach, Mishael was named Meshach, and Azariah was named Abednego. But Daniel determined that he would not defile himself by eating the king's food or drinking his wine. So he asked the head of the palace staff to exempt him from eating the royal diet. The head of the palace staff, by God's grace, liked Daniel, but he warned him.
I'm afraid of what my master the king will do. He is the one who assigned this diet, and if he sees that you are not as healthy as the rest, he'll have my head.
But Daniel appealed to a steward who had been assigned by the head of the palace staff to be in charge of Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Try us out for 10 days on a simple diet of vegetables and water. Then compare us with the young men who eat from the royal menu. Make your decision on the basis of what you see.
Now the steward agreed to do it and fed them vegetables and water for 10 days. And at the end of the 10 days, they looked better and more robust than all the others who'd been eating from the royal menu of food and drink. So the steward continued to exempt them from the royal menu and served them only vegetables.
God gave these 4 young men knowledge and skill in both books and life. In addition, Daniel was gifted in understanding all sorts of visions and dreams. At the end of the time set by the king for their training, the head of the royal staff brought them in to Nebuchadnezzar. When the king interviewed them, he found them far superior to all the other young men. None were a match for Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
And so they took their place in the king's service. Whenever the king consulted them on anything, on books or on life, he found them to be 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters in his kingdom put together. And Daniel continued in the king's service until the first year in the reign of King Cyrus. Wow. Got any questions, Tim?
What a great passage, wasn't it? And
So good.
yeah, it's fascinating how they reacted to being in that foreign place. So I'm going to be intrigued at the questions, perhaps even more intrigued by the answers. So looking forward to that. So come up with your best questions and see if you can test us beyond our capabilities.
We want to be challenged by you guys. We want you to be asking us questions that we are really going to struggle with, and that's good. If you're going to challenge me to only survive on vegetables and water for a week, I can guarantee you that that won't happen. So don't be asking that. But actually, though, that's a thought, Tim. Maybe we should agree. Anyway, no.
Yes, I was, it's funny, Tom, I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Deary me. This is already a minefield. Thanks so much for watching along with us. And yeah, do send us your questions. Send them in however you want. We'd love videos. If you could send in your question as a video, we'll get permission from your parents for you to send it in to us. That'd be the best way. It's the most visual way. But if you just want to ask us the questions by text, like on email or on the Facebook group, do that, guys. But yeah, thanks for watching. And that was Daniel chapter 1, dramatically read by Tom and Tim. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye.
Bye.